What's good, my fellow Natiba Slayers? Bro, in my last video, oh my god, that is probably the most polarizing comment section I've ever seen. For everybody who picked up what I was putting down and got it the first time, y'all are goated. I ain't gonna lie to you. And for everybody that's like, oh my god, bro, get good. Nah. For y'all, I got this video just for you. I did a terrible job explaining what the hell I was trying to say yesterday. So today I want to make amends. I'm going to keep that video up. I'm going to own that L because I was tired. It was 4 o'clock in the morning and everything that I was trying to say to you guys, I guess didn't come out correctly at all. So today, let me make amends. This video is going to talk about the rebalancing or balance thereof of the game in its current state right now for Stellar Blade. Let's jump straight into it. So first things first, I don't hate Raven, bro. Like, chill. Like, oh my god, get good to fight. You don't understand iframes and you don't understand Raven's fight. It's supposed to be that hard. I know that. All of that, I love her fight. She is one of the best bosses I've ever fought in my life. And that's just me personally. I play a whole bunch of different types of video games. She was harder than Millennia was for me in Elden Ring. She is harder than Sephiroth to me. She is harder than so many other. What is that one boss in Kingdom Hearts that slaps you up? Isn't that Sephiroth that you technically are not able to defeat? That was one fight in my life that I will never forget because holding that keyblade up to that thing and just getting one shot every single time you pulled up on it was just wild. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know down in the comment section below if that's the right game. Was it Kingdom Hearts that had Sephiroth in it that just was just cracked out? Anyways, I understand Raven's fight, and that's not the problem. I use Raven as an example, and I think that is where the issue is coming into play. Right now, my problem with the buffs and nerfs to Eve and both the bosses in the game, not Raven, but the bosses in the game is this. What I feel like is the dev team came through, they made the AI a whole lot smarter. First and foremost, I love that change. Because you can see the reaction time, you can see the AI adjusting, you can see the AI like really punishing you when you make a mistake. If you push in the wrong input, especially on hard mode, the AI is going to pack you up. I love every second of that. That's what I'm here for. That's the game that I was waiting to play. Because up until now, we never had that. There was no mode in the game that could give you that challenge, except if you went into a brand new game on hard mode. That is the only other place where I was able to get this type of challenge. And I'm really excited about these adjustments that they made to the game. However, that's all great. Giving the AI a little bit more of an IQ, making them smarter to be able to punish me is perfect. Making the AI more aggressive is perfect. Giving the AI iframes and then nerfing my abilities, that's where my questions start coming up. So I don't care that Tempest got nerfed. It got nerfed. A lot of people were probably using it and cheesing it or whatever. I didn't really care. I used it in certain situations where I was just surrounded by too many enemies and I needed a way out, or I used it where I wanted to actually stifle a little bit of HP out and then figure out my next move. So I would pop it, suck up a whole lot of HP from all the enemies that were caught in my web, then reorganize myself, probably, dodge my way out of whatever situation I was in, and then went to work. That's how I used it. I didn't really care for it, and I didn't even use it that much because the burst skills to me wasn't really that appealing. There, on the other end of that spectrum, Beta, I didn't really care for Shockwave either. I knew how overpowered Shockwave was, and for everybody who's been following me since day one, you know I've been saying it. They're gonna nerf Shockwave. I've been saying it the whole time because of just how absolutely broken it was. There's probably a bunch of YouTubers out there that were making builds over Shockwave, telling you that it's the best thing, it's the only thing you need to use for the game, and I never did that for anybody. That was not the way that I wanted you guys, my community, to go down. I mean, if you wanted to use Shockwave in that way, then that was perfectly fine. This is your video game. I'm not your mother, but for me, I wanted to keep the challenge in my game, so I used Shockwave defensively. When I saw an advantage, or if I had 3 enemies in front of me, I would shoot the Shockwave out at the furthest enemy to delete them and then figure out what I want to do with the other 2. Or if I have 3 ranged enemies in front of my face, I'm gonna need to take out one of these ranged enemies before they become a problem. So I'll shoot out a shockwave defensively, boom, snatch that life up, and then I go after the other two. That's how I was using my shockwave. And even in the Raven fight, I know exactly where I need Raven to calm down, or I need Raven to cancel her ability so that I can punish. What I mean is, there are certain sections where if you want to use the beta, if you want to use the burst, there's specific windows that is a great chance to use it, and then there's a lot of chances where you won't be able to use it at all. Right now, in the current state of hard mode, there is only 1 or 2 ways that you're able to use certain moves in this game, and that's only if you're extremely aggressive. Or you just choose a build like protection and reflex, and you decide to take your kill time up and just go for parrying and blocking a whole lot more. Let me fall back a little bit and try to explain this. So there's 3 different camps of people who fight Raven or any boss in the game. A, you use reflex and you use protection, and it takes you a while to kill the boss, but you take it out at a good pace for you. That's viable. There's the next camp of people that they use beta trance with maybe burst, or they use certain beta gear or certain burst gear to make their burst attacks or beta attacks a little bit stronger. They have chain type exospine equipped, as well as maybe a double edge to give them a little bit of an advantage in the DPS. And then they have a couple of protective abilities to kind of recover a little bit faster, or maybe mitigate a little bit of damage. There's nothing wrong with that build. That's an extremely solid and balanced build to have. And then there's me. I'm that camp of people that's just kind of not that smart. Why I say this is, I pull up with the chain type exospine, which is something that says you have to get out a combo in order for it to even be valid. Let's start there. Most bosses, you're not getting out combos. So why are you handicapping yourself by using that? I love getting out combos. And as you can see on screen, even on Raven, I can bust out a combo when I'm ready to do so. That's just me being aggressive, or knowing exactly when I can punish, or my punish time frame. Plus, my other thing that I'm using in my build is either going to be beta, so I can throw out a beta at a perfect time and be able to punish when she makes a mistake, or B, so I can use specific abilities to knock out her shield so I could do more damage in the long term. That's how I use my build. And in my gear slots, I'm going completely suicide with it. I have 2 double-edged gears in my gear slots, which is just crazy because that's already putting you at a minus 95 melee damage and minus 95 range damage mitigation. That means anytime Raven is throwing out a hit, I'm getting one shot. I understand that. That's exactly what the Eve protocol is. Anytime you mess up, you're in a skin suit, you don't have protection, you're getting one shot. That's how I like to play this game. So everybody who is coming at me like, oh my God, you don't even know what you're doing with your build. You have minus 95, you know, that's the hardest way to play the game and you're complaining. No, bro, I'm not complaining about me dying to Raven. What I'm complaining about, and it's not necessarily complaining about, it's my argument, is there's certain times where I'll be fighting Raven, and in certain situations, she pops out with full-blown armor, super armor or hyper armor alike, and you can't do anything to her. Now, it's one thing if you want to make a smart AI, but it's something completely different when the dev team decides, oh, let's just add hyper armor to this enemy and call it a day. And then we're also going to nerf the abilities of the player so that they lose all of these options. I'm pretty sure when they was testing this game out, they was like, oh yeah, we're just going to nerf Tempest to hell and get rid of Shockwave's, you know, ability to punish. Like, it still knocks down the enemy. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. But we're just going to make it a little bit weaker, you know, we'll do it like this. And, you know, they just don't need to use these moves anymore. There's no dev team member that's approaching the game with that mindset, because somebody on their team created that ability and somebody really likes that ability. They're not going to negate that member of their team's ability and just say, I'm sorry, you're obsolete in this fight. That's not how, you know, a team works. That's not how dev teams balance their games. You know what I mean? So everybody who's coming at me in the comment section like, yeah, you don't understand, or you're just trying to punish, or you're just trying to cheese. Bro, I beat the game on hard mode. I beat the game on E protocol minimum. Like, I've done it. I'm not trying to cheese anything, but I'm trying to also let it be known for the community as a whole, as somebody who is also a top tier player. Right now, the balancing of the game needs a little bit of adjustments. Now, this is where I probably should have explained a lot better yesterday, which I'm going to do today. The adjustments that I'm thinking are not just, okay, get rid of the iframes. Oh no, boost the abilities back up to where they were. That's not the answer at all. That is not going to work, because it's just going to put us back to square one. We're going to be overpowered and the game is going to be too easy. We'll pack up everything, and then is it worth playing? No, it's not worth coming back to. Two ways that I'm proposing that this game be readjusted is, one, the dev team comes through and drops a brand new difficulty. That would be godsend. That would be the greatest thing ever. Why? Because anybody and everybody who wants to play the full game with all of your abilities intact at the hardest settings can get that opportunity to really flex your skills, flex your build, and see how good you really are. You know what I mean? That would be so peak. Or they come through, they adjust the iframes a lot better than they have so far, because it's not Raven. It's like, it's brutal. It's brute, stalker. There's so many enemies. Juggernaut, they completely ignore all damage whatsoever, got full-blown hyper armor for no reason, and they just keep coming at you with a barrage of attacks, and there's no way to get out of it. Of course, you have to parry or dodge your way out of it to basically figure out when it's your window to do your attacks and beat them down. But hey, for a lot of people, they're like, aha, get good. This isn't going to be accessible to absolutely everybody. I understand that. A lot of people are not going to be able to play hard mode. I understand that as well. But at the same time, it would be a lot more fun for a lot more people to experience this mode if the dev team didn't just make the excuse of cranking up iframes to do their work. You see what I'm saying? A little bit more adjustments need to be made in certain aspects of the game to make it not only challenging but fun at the same time. It's a whole lot of fun to figure out these bosses and figure out when your timing is to punish them or beat them down. That's absolutely awesome. I love every second of that. But when I'm in my window of doing some type of move, I throw it out and that enemy completely ignores all damage whatsoever and then can continue their onslaught of attacks. It's like, what are we trading here? You see what I'm saying? And that's all I was trying to say in the video yesterday. The iframes is an issue. Everything else, I'm here for it. If you're gonna nerf the hell out of Tempest because you didn't want people to abuse it in your game, that was your personal choice. It's a single player game at the end of the day, so nerfing it is kind of wild because you already threw it out to your field testers. You already had an idea of what this move could do. And I guess you don't really know until a bunch of people get it in their hands and they start spamming the hell out of something. But, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I love this game. It's my favorite game of 2024, hands down. This has been one of the more fun games that I played in the past 5 years, personally. And I'm really excited to see exactly where this franchise goes. I can't wait to see them implement the photo mode because, you know, it's so hard to take a thumbnail in this damn game right now. If you're a content creator, you definitely know what I'm talking about. And I'm also excited to see, okay, are they going to implement brand new, secrets into the game, new mysteries, new things for us to go discover? Are they going to help us figure out how to unlock the hacked door in Matrix 11, how to get the device, how to open up the damaged device that was given to you by in Zion? Like, there's so many things that I am here for, and I hope you guys are as well. I apologize if my video yesterday was too confusing or if I didn't really explain myself the way that I am now. And maybe, hey, you might listen to what I'm saying right now and still not agree with me, and that is your personal opinion, and I'm here for it, bro. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I find cranking up the iframes, cranking up the AI, cranking up the aggression, A++. I love every second of it. But cranking up their iframes and then nerfing us, there's some type of give and take that's not happening here for me. If you're gonna give them so many iframes, still allow us to have some type of advantage in the abilities that we have. Don't just nerf them to hell. Now, Tempest is not the ability that I'm talking about. That's just an easy example to throw out there because everybody knows it. But things like Triplet. You used to be able to throw out a Triplet on Brute. It would pack him up a little bit. He would stun. and then he could continue his onslaught of attacks. You could also abuse the hell out of it if you just had like the beta trance going and you just kept poking him and poking him and poking him over and over and over. I mean, nerfing that, yeah, get rid of that. That's not really how it's supposed to be intended to be played for somebody who's supposed to be a good player in hard mode, you know what I mean? So I don't want cheese in the game. What I want is a better option or more options to take down these enemies in a very fun but challenging way. I hope that came off right. I hope you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. And even if you don't, hey, yo, grill me in the comment section below if you have to. If you don't feel where I'm coming from, it's gonna happen. But that's all. That's gonna be it for today. I really appreciate you guys' time. If you like what we do here on the channel, make sure you smash that like button, sub to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guys, and a hell of a lot more for Stellar Blade. But this is your boy, I'm Msensei, though. You know what it is. For now, I'm out of here.